Good morning, dear students. We are meeting after a very long time. I hope you all are fit and fine. Let's get started. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is relations and functions. This is the very first chapter of your book, and we are going to deal with the types of relations in this chapter, types of functions, then invertible functions, which is a type of function only, and then the binary operations. These three topics are very important. Now, first we will focus on the relations. In 11th class, we have studied about the relations, range and domain. Now let's have some small recap of that. Relations, we have seen that whenever we have two sets, set A and set B, then the ordered pair of those set A and set B, we get the subsets of the set A and set B, and in that the very first element is called its range, and then the second element is called the domain. So this is what we have seen in 11th class, but due to some reduced syllabus we could not complete some topics there, so we will see whatever is like useful for us. Okay, but now we are going to see the definition of relation first. It says let A be a non-empty set. You know the meaning of non-empty set. Okay, it should contain one element at least. Then any subset of A cross A, this is the ordered pair Cartesian product which we have seen in 11th class, is called a relation on A. Let me just go put you in the simple language. Relations, like if we talk in the locally, if we say relation, like we used to say, we used to see many relation in our day-to-day life, like mother-son relation, father-daughter relation. So such type of relations are not there in mathematics, but it has some mathematical relationships. So we are going to see those types of relations and their functions. Okay, that is, the function part is somewhat very important for us. Okay, so let's see here. So what we are going to see, if we are taking a set A which is a non-empty set, then any subset of A cross A, it can be any, like if we are taking two set, then it can be A cross B, but we are taking A only. So then the subset of any subset of A cross A is called a relation on A. We will see types of relation example, then this definition will be very clear to you. Okay, so in the book, as you have some types of relations, some particular relations on set, we are going to see, that is empty relation, then universal relation and identity relation. Okay, now first let us see what is empty relation. Okay, so empty relation we can. Okay, so dear students, we are going to take the next thing, that is some particular relation on a set. Now what is the meaning of some particular relation on a set? You know why I am saying relation? So you need to understand this word very, very clearly, that what is the actual meaning of relation. We are going to make some relations between the elements. Okay, so that is what empty relation. Empty relation means there is no relation. So how in mathematics there can be any relation? Okay, so consider a relation R. You know this has a very great meaning. Relation R, मतलब ये relation कुछ भी हो सकता है. Okay, we will see what type of relation it is showing. On a set A 1 2 3, that means on this set 1 2 3 we need to create one relation R. So it is given by R is such that R is x and y, there are two elements such that x plus y is equal to, see this is the relation, that if you add these two elements you should get 8. If you are getting 8, then it will be, that means we can make the relation, that means this set can make relation. Okay, so how? Let's see. For this we need to find the Cartesian product of this set. So always remember, if you want to make this, if you want to check whether this is making a empty relation or not, and if you are given with one set, then make a Cartesian product with itself. So A cross A, So Cartesian product we know will be 1 1 1 2 1 3 2 1 2 2 2 3 3 1 3 2 and 3 3. This is A cross A. Now let us check whether, see, this all are, we know that the first element is the domain and the second element is the range. Now let us add these all these elements. So 1 plus 1 is 2, which is not equal to 8. 1 plus 2 is 3, which is not equal to 8. Now can you tell me, among all these combinations, are you getting on adding, are you getting the sum as 8? So there's no any combination where these two terms are being added, we are getting 8 or not. So here what can we say, that there is no relation, no such relation. That is why it is called an empty relation. That means we'll get the relation, we will get relation phi. That means there is no relation in it. Now if I take x plus y equal to 6, so here I am getting one combination where on adding these two I am getting 6. So here we can say that yes, they are making relation, and we got this 3 3. Okay, now let us come to the next type of relation. Now let's see what is the universal relation. Okay, again with one example. Consider a relation R on set A 2 3 4, and the relation is such that xy, where modulus of y minus x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this is the relation. We need to check whether we are getting some set or not. Okay, so we need to form this relation in this set. So first of all, as I said, this is, see, this is, we are seeing some particular relation on a set. On one set we are seeing. Now we will see on two set also. That will be called a binary relation. And in the binary relation we will study about reflexive relation, symmetric, transitive. So we are just going to start that only. First let us see on a particular set. So if they are talking on one particular set, then we need to make the Cartesian product with this, and let's see what we'll get. 2 3. So first of all 2 2 2 3 2 4, then 3 2 3 3 3 4, then 4 2 4 3 4 4. This will be the Cartesian product. Now they are saying that modulus of y minus x should be greater than or equal to 0. Now if you take 2 minus 2 0, which is equal to 0, so this condition is satisfied for this pair. For this pair 3 minus 2 1, which is greater than 0. Okay, this also satisfied. Now 2 4 4 minus 2 2, again this is satisfied. So you take any of the pair, okay, this condition will be satisfied. So what we got, so thus we note that all pairs of this A cross A satisfies this relation. Hence we say that whenever if we have the relation, and if this set A cross A is satisfying the whole pair, then this is called the universal relation. This is very much similar with the universal set. So that is what the universal relation. And for both empty relation and universal relation, if any of the set is empty relation and universal relation, then that is called the trivial relation. Okay, so you need to remember this. Alright dear students, now let's see the identity relation. Now again, consider a relation R on set, the same elements I am taking, the same set I am taking. Then what does the identity relate? You know, like identity, it has some special identity. You know, in matrix also we have seen identity matrix. So it has some special position in that chapter. Similarly, identity relation, how we can understand? So what the relation which we require here is R, let's say IA. If you are getting this IA, that means definitely it is an identity relation from set A, which is x comma x, and this sign is for all. So remember, whenever you get this inverted A, so it is called for all. Okay, So for all x belongs to A, so that is the condition which we need to take from here. So again, A cross A we already did, 2, 2, 2, 3 and all this. So what does the identity relation says? That in identity relation, every element is related to itself. This is a very important statement, that every element is related to itself. That is what we give the relation as x. So you see 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 4. We are getting 3 outcomes from this one. So that is why it satisfies the given condition, and hence we can say that we can find the identity relation in this set. Alright. So this is what the identity relation. Okay. One remark is there given there in the book, that in class 11th you have seen 3 ways of representing a relation: roster form, set builder form, and by the arrow diagram. The another way of representing set is like if you are given the 2 set, then from A to B, how we write A is related to B. Okay, so this is also one more type of representation which we are going to see in 12th class. In 11th class we have seen the roster form, set builder form, and by the arrow diagram. Okay, now we are going to see such type of representation where we call A is related to B, and if it is not related, then we write A is not related to, we need to cut this R in this between. Okay, so A is not related to B. So that is how we need to represent. Okay, now let's start with the binary relation. As I said, this is we have seen for a set. Now we are going to see for a binary relation, where we are going to see the reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Okay, so let me write. Okay, so we are going to start the binary relation. As you know, binary means like 2. Okay, so we will see two set also here. So let's start with, let R be a relation on set A, then R is called this 3 when they satisfy these 3 conditions. Okay, so let's see. Let R be a relation. Like okay, let me take one example and explain you the definition. You know, by taking examples, people understand more clearly. So I'm taking a relation. Say for example, I'm taking relation is similar to. This is one relation I'm giving to you. Is similar to. Now what? This is a triangle case actually, where A is a triangle. So if I say A is related to A, that means a triangle is similar to itself or a triangle. That means I'm taking one triangle A. We know that this triangle will be similar to itself only. So reflexive relation says that if and only if A is related to A, that is A comma A, which belongs to R, then this type of relation which we have given will be a reflexive relation. Alright, now let us understand what is symmetric relation. What I have written, if and only if A is related to B, which implies B is related to A. So how? Let's take 2 triangles A and B. If A is similar to B, then B will also be similar to A, right? So if such type of condition holds, then we say that that relation is also a symmetric relation. No, that relation is symmetric relation. Okay, so this is what the relation, A is related to B and B is related to A, and that relation we have given is similar. So A is similar to B, so also which implies B is similar to A. Now transitive relation. Okay, so if A is related to B and B is related to C, then it implies A is also related to C. Okay, so if A is related to B and this B is related to C, then we say this A is also related to C. Means A is A is similar to B, B is similar to C, then A will also be similar to C. So this one example I have given where all the 3 conditions are satisfied. That means I have taken a triangle, okay, and I have given this R a relation as is similar to. So a triangle is always similar to himself or itself. So that is how reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Okay, did you understand all these three? Now the main thing which we will see after this, in the book there are many examples given. Those are very good examples which will clear all the things. Okay, so now just see, if you are getting a set A which is satisfying all the three conditions of reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then such type of relation is called the equivalence relation. What it is called? Equivalence relation. So what does the equivalence relation definition says? A relation on R, it should be a non-empty set, is called equivalence relation if and only if it satisfies reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So there can be we can have many examples where a particular relation will satisfy all these three relations. Then we can call that as equivalence relation. Okay, so I guess that's it for this exercise. Now we need to do the questions. Okay, so let's do the questions. Okay, so let's take one question here. A very easy question I'm going to take. Xy is such that x and y are belongs to n. That means this x and y should be a natural number. And we are giving this relation. This is the relation. Okay, x plus y is equal to 4. That means this equation should be satisfied. Then only we can form the relation. So what we have to do? We have to find the domain range, and we have to determine whether the relation is reflexive, symmetric or transitive. Okay, so let's start with, first we need to find the domain and range. What will be the domain and range? So starting with, as they have already given that your x and y should be natural number, and as natural number starts with 1, so if at all I take x equal to 1, I'll get y equal to 3, isn't it? If I get x equal to 2, if I take, then y will be 2. If I take x is equal to 3, then y will be 1. And if I take x equal to 4, then I will get y equal to 0, which will not be acceptable because we are getting y equal to 0 and y is a natural number, so we need to restrict ourselves till here. Okay, so let's draw this. Now we can say that R, we have the pairs 1, 3, 2, 2 and 3, 1. Now we can easily answer our first question to find the domain and range. As I told you, domain is the first element of the subsets. So 1, 2, 3 will be your domain and range will be the same 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so it is domain and range. You need to find like this. Now what happens? This I'm rubbing. Okay, we only need this set. Okay, so now we have to determine whether this relation which we got 1, 3, 2, 2 and 3, 1 is reflexive, transitive or symmetric or transitive. Okay, so let's check whether we are getting reflexive. From here, do you have the reflexive relation as we have seen in the definition? Okay, if A is related to A, so you can see you got 2, 2. That is 2 is related to 2 and it is also satisfying our equation. That is, if I put x as 2 and y as 2, okay, we are getting 4 equal to 4. This is satisfying the equation. So yes, we say that this relation is a reflexive relation. You need to remember one thing that is very important. From this set, from this relation, from this all this sets, if at all you are getting one set which is satisfying your definition of reflexive, symmetric or transitive, then that will be the reflexive, symmetric or respectively the transitive. That is, I am getting this 2, 2. Okay, so from here, if at all one I am getting, then it will satisfy your definition. Okay, so yes, we got this. So it is called a reflexive relation. then symmetric relation. What do you mean by symmetric? If A is related to B, then B also should relate to A. So here we can say that this 1 3 and 3 1 1 3 and 3 is related to 1. So here if you put 1 plus 3, you are getting 4, and here also 3 plus 1, you are getting 4. This equation is satisfying. Okay, so here we can say it is a symmetric relation. Okay, now let us come to the transitive relation. As I told you, transitive relation is if A is related to B, B is related to C, then A should also relate to C. So here we say that we don't have such type of, because if 1 is related to 3, that means 1 3 3 1, but we don't have 1 1. Okay, so that is what, this is not a transitive relation. Why? Because we don't have the proper sets here. Okay, that is 1 is related to 1 3 3 1, and 1 1 should also we must have got. But if there is no 1 1 here, because it is not satisfying our equation 1 plus 1, which is 2, and which is not equal to 4. Hence this is not a transitive relation. So this is one short example for all of you. Okay, let's do some more questions. Okay, so here is the second question which I am taking from the exercise. Okay, so let me read. If the relation R in the set A, where A is 1 2 3 4 5 6, is defined by the relation R x y such that y is divisible by x, then express your R in a roster form and also determine whether the relation is reflexive, transitive and symmetric or not. Okay, so first we are going to do is we need to express this in the roster form with the help of these elements. Okay, so how can we express this relationship? Should be satisfied. It says y is divisible by x, so we need to build up such type of pairs which here where this relationship should be satisfied using these digits. Okay, so as we can see, this is your x and this is your y. Okay, so 1 is divisible by 1. We need to read in such a way. Y is divisible by x, no? X and y. So 1 is divisible by 1. I already wrote here. Okay, so 2 is divisible by 1 and 2 is divisible by 2 also. Similarly, 3 is divisible by 1. 3 is divisible by itself also. 4 1 and 4 4. 5 divided by 5 1. 5 divided by 5 6 1 6 2 and 6 3 and 6 6. I hope you understood this roster. This is the roster form which we have written according to this relation. Now we need to check whether it is a reflexive or not. I told you. What do you mean by reflexive? If A is related to A, then so can you spot A is related to A anyway? So here you can see this 2 2, this 3 3, this 4 4 and this 6 6. Okay, so at least one you must get. So we got the fourth relation here. Okay, so we can say this is a reflexive relation. Now let us come to the symmetric one. So symmetric says if A is related to B, which implies B should also be related to A. So can you spot here where one term, that means one pair, like say for example we pick this 1 3. So 1 3. So there you must have 3 1 also. So can you find here 3 1? No. If we take 1 5 5 1, can we get? No. So with all this we are not getting a symmetric relation. So that is why it is not a symmetric relation. Then comes the transitive relation. What do you mean by transitive? If A is related to B, B is related to C, then A is related to C. So can you spot here any relation where you are getting this here? Can you? So for this question you need to tell me, like you have to, whenever you give the homework to me, you need to tell me that whether this is a transitive or not. As from here I can spot that it's transitive or not. So this you have to tell me. Okay, so I hope after all this explanation something went in your brain, and I hope that you will try. It's my request to all of you that please please see the example first, and then you go with then you go on trying the questions in the exercise. Okay, because examples will help you more. So just see the example first, and then you go on doing the exercise questions. Okay, in the next video I will come up with more examples of this first exercise, and then we'll head to the new topic. Okay, we'll do some complex question. If you get any doubt, we'll take those questions here in the video. Alright, and I hope you must keep learning it. Okay, so thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.